Alright, welcome back to Bleach, Anime Review, episode number 39. We are reviewing the 28th episode of Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, which is also the 394th episode of the anime. Excuse me. Known as Kill the King! This adapts from, probably more than what they say. They say on here, this is kind of a weird arrangement for this episode. How they put on here. Pages 5 to 17 of chapter 6 to 12, even though they did adapt that for last episode. Okay. Chapter 613, pages 1 through 3, 11 to 12. Yes. 614, pages 10 to 17. 615, pages 6 through 7, 12 to 15. Page 2 from 616, 13 and 14 from 617, and chapter 619, page 3. You're like, really? Yeah, it's like they have a little bit from these other chapters. Not much. Excuse me. Oh, don't worry, they have a lot more next episode. Oh gosh, they do. Almost like I hit 616, they pretty much adapt like partially it just so I can So here's what happens. We kind of have a flashback from early on where the whole birth of the Soul King thing, we have this Yurabaha where he's like getting birthed and like we see like him get older and the Soul King doesn't age. In the anime, they refer to him in the manga, they refer to him as Ro. Yes, the Soul King. It's like, okay, so you walk after he stabs and he hides behind a curtain. And basically here's what happens. After he stabs his own father, each of his group show up and they fight, and each go fights him for a little while. And it's great I love the camera movement in this scene here, where they kind of show go like the interior, like whoosh around. Yeah, this episode's got great camera work in it. Oh my gosh, it's like basically Para actually their homework with this episode. And it's like, wow, they put a lot into the special effects for animation wise. They put a lot of money in this episode. Like, wow, it looks so freaking good. Like the camera work is really good. We see them fight in the sky. We even have to see them land in the believe it or not, the hot spring. From I think it was from the one of the guys that killed off last episode, and then they end up in the like basically like a shrine. Like, oh, he got bigger, he got stronger here. But that goes on for quite a while. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna get better. And of course, he fights in the bottom of the Soul King Palace. And basically, he launched him right through the bottom, all the way to where the top is. Well, it seems like he's basically on the ground. Before we continue here, it's going on the ground. So we see Rukia and Renji just noticing all the tremors. And they basically hop to where the captain of Squad 2 and her lieutenant, Haruka, and, well, I don't think, what was her name? She's the lieutenant from Squad 5, I think it is. Me. So they all basically go to where Kisuke is. Oh, by the way, just by sheer randomness, Nemu is in the episode for quick cameo, does not get speaking role. And then when the group arrive at the R&D, Department of R&D, we see this young black kid there who has no lines, who is there by sheer randomness. Those who don't know, who the heck is this kid? That's Yorichi's brother, which they pretty much cut out all of his dialogue from the anime. Well, from this episode anyways. Yes, they cut all of his dialogue. I'm like, why? It makes no frickin' sense at all. The fact that they cut his dialogue. And he is there. He doesn't say anything to anybody. I'm like, what was the point of including him here? Oh, because he was in the manga? They keep his frickin' lines in, Parrot. Now, this is not Viz Media's fault with this scene. That is not their fault. It's not their fault, the fact that he doesn't have any lines. It's Parrot's fault for that. So, of course, they see that, oh, we have reaction stuff. Basically, the reaction stuff goes on basically from the ground. So, Ichigo fights him, and then eventually, like, and of course, they have Yorichi basically surrounded with these, like, wires, which he burns. And then the cloak that surrounds the Soul King evaporates, and they see, oh, the Soul King's been stabbed. So basically, Ichigo pulls the sword out, and then apparently his Quincy brother doesn't forgive the Soul King because apparently they abandoned Quincy was abandoned by the Soul King, and then he proceeds to slice the Soul King in half, presumably killing him. And we see everybody's reaction. Of course, they react. Oh, maybe the Soul King is dead. That's the only possibility for all this craziness happening. We even get brief cameos here by Ichigo's father and sisters. We even see cameos by the Quincy's, who are still very much alive, despite the fact they're not doing anything this whole episode. Not really, no. Some of them, anyways. Yeah, they're just here for a cameo, and that's not entirely the anime's fault. That's kind of what they had to adapt for this episode. So, there's that. It seems like by the end of this episode that all three worlds will be destroyed. But don't worry, we're going to have this nonsense next episode. But, yeah, good episode, and like I said, high praise to the animation. It looks really good. The only problem I have with this episode is some of the writing here. The fact that Yorichi's brother just completely here by sheer randomness. The fact that his dialogue was cut from the episode. Maybe it'll be next episode, who knows. But I'm not going to watch the next episode. Next is going to be Rama Half. I want to get this one out of the way tonight before I hit the bed. So, tomorrow, basically, it's going to be 5 anime. But here's something interesting. I'm going to be covering, I'm going to watch them at work. I'm going to go to work tomorrow. During my breaks, hopefully I get both of them. Because I forgot yesterday. So, I will go through the last 2 episodes released on my breaks tomorrow. So, when I come home, I will basically look at stuff for these episodes, do my review for them, and put this thing behind me. So I'm caught up with Bleach. And then at that point, I'll have like 4 anime left. Excuse me, which anime I do first? Probably Spirit Chronicles. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Oh, I forgot to mention. Yeah, last episode I completely forgot to mention this because basically I just remembered it now reading the manga. The current Captain Commander, who was the previous captain of Squad 8, he goes to visit a certain prisoner. And, well, it's Aizen. You know, the main villain in the first half of the series. Yeah, he's back again, which should be interesting. And he plays a small role in the ending. Yes, he plays a very small role. Yeah, and his way he looks here is different from his last scene. Here he's basically bandaged up and he's got like swords basically. These red swords basically pointing at his gut, pinning him there. It's clearly Aizen. I think in the manga he was confined to a chair the whole time. But what happens next we'll find out in future episodes, okay? So, I'll see you next week, which will be Rama Half, okay? Bye.